It's like eating nothing. Tastes like cookie crumbs. Oh dear, get it out. Okay, that happens way, it's hard.
I disagree.
Really? Sugar-free, huh?
Hello, welcome back to another video. I am cooking. I'm gonna bake something. I'm gonna share with you my cheesecake recipe that changed my diet a lot. It's a no sugar cheesecake, completely cut majority of the sugar out of my diet. I've lost a bunch of weight, leaned out quite a bit. So the no sugar thing has been really good for me so far. I don't actually turn it into a traditional cheesecake. I usually just make the base into some crumbs, the filling in a bowl, kind of like ice cream, and then we self-serve purely because I'm really lazy. I'm gonna attempt traditional cheesecake format. It really doesn't consist of a lot of stuff. Super simple. You might notice all my ingredients are organic because I hate money. We're gonna start with the base. After the base is when we put the filling on top. So doing it in reverse probably isn't. We're gonna start with the base. I've got some kind of mixing bowl here. I need to melt the butter. I usually just vibe all the measurements. I have a rough idea. I use 6 tablespoons of butter. Honestly, when it comes to baking, I really just... So measurement, I couldn't be bothered. I don't really like following recipes. I just experiment, hope it turns out. I changed my mind. I'm gonna be a little bit less savage. Melt the butter. Now that I've melted the butter, I'm just gonna leave that here. I'm gonna put a cup of shredded coconut and a cup of the almond flour in a bowl. I know some people pre-measure stuff and put it in bowls, but I didn't think ahead, and so here we are. Okay, maybe this bowl is not big enough. This recipe is also low carb to next to no carb. Carbs are bad, we're dropping the carbs. This is basically a fat dessert. We're gonna put in some sugar substitute. I'm using this sweet leaf, better than sugar. It's a mixture of stevia and erythritol. Erythritol is a sugar alcohol, stevia is a plant. The combination actually tastes basically like sugar. It has 0 calories. It's like eating nothing. Now, how much of this do you put in there? Not really sure. Usually I put about 2 to 2.5 tablespoons. This is a regular spoon. I'll just say 2 regular spoons. We'll just put a little bit more of that in there. Mix all that together. Then take your butter, and if the consistency is not right, add a bit of something else. And then hope that it doesn't taste bad. Oh, before you finish mixing that up, get some of your vanilla extract. How much? You just kind of, that's probably too much. And then go ahead and, I feel like it's good. Is it too dry? I don't think so. As I said earlier, I usually crumb this. And when I crumb it, it looks like this. Tastes like cookie crumbs. I've got to put this into a tray. We're just gonna see if this works out together. What do people put cheesecakes in normally? I'm gonna use this cake tin. It's the only round thing that I have, so I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna line it with some baking paper. Circles are really unfortunate shapes. Does that look like a circle? Hey, that's not too bad. That's still not very good though. I forgot to preheat the oven. Preheat your oven to 350 Fahrenheit. We're just gonna, and then just try and flatten that. It's all moving. I shouldn't have put the baking paper down. Stuff this. I'm gonna use my hands. Really get in there, and we're committing. We're just gonna do the whole thing. This could very well be too much base. It doesn't look like there's too much base if you just take it up the sides like that was supposed to happen. Now that we've done that, not really sure what to do next. Was kind of debating whether to leave it like that and put it in the fridge. Like, the raw base tastes good. So we're just gonna bake it. Now the oven isn't preheated yet. I'm just gonna have to wait on that. Now, honestly, I have no clue how long it will take to bake. This oven sucks. Once I get it out, I'll let you know how long, maybe. I haven't got one pre-prepared earlier. Just gonna have to wait it out. It's you and me, waiting for the base. Let me tell you the benefits. I have lost a bunch of weight. Well, I've leaned out. Yet I haven't deprived myself, and I'm not feeling restricted at all. I am so much more productive, less sluggish, and more energized. I don't know. Also, Jez has been sleeping better, dropped his caffeine intake to about 1/4 of what he was consuming before, and he's been feeling so much more energized. Also, we haven't fallen off the wagon, so what you say. We genuinely feel satisfied. I didn't expect such results so soon. There are 3 things that I want out of pursuing health and fitness. That is to look good, naturally, feel good, and to seek longevity. In my searches, it's kind of been brought to my attention how bad excessive amounts of sugar and carbs really are. Obviously, increased risk of obesity and diabetes, non-alcohol fatty liver disease, increased inflammation everywhere. It can affect your bones, joints, skin, aging, as well as gut health and your immune system. Some pretty severe negative effects on the brain. It reduces the production of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which is essential for memory and learning. Also, low levels of BDNF is linked to Alzheimer's and dementia, which for me, no thanks. Are sugar substitutes better or even safe? I use stevia leaf extract and erythritol. Yes, they are better than sugar. Stevia actually has some antioxidants in it and could actually help fight off some of the free radicals that age you. There is no long-term research at this point, so hopefully it doesn't give us cancer. It's better than sugar at this point, so I'm totally on board. Decide what you will, but I love it. And Jez is totally addicted, so back to the cooking. Oh dear, get it out. Okay, wow. Okay, that happens, wait, it's hard. That was only 5 minutes. Look at this. Right, well, we're just gonna leave that there to cool down. Clearly, I am no professional baker. All right, let's move on to the filling. And this is basically it. I usually just do half of what I'm going to attempt today because I feel like my base has too much base and I need to add more fillings. 12 tablespoons of butter. This butter's been sitting out for a bit. It's a little bit soft. You don't want it really hard because then it'll kind of get weird buttery lumps. I don't even know if traditional cheesecake has butter in it. Then grab your cream cheese, 16 ounces. This feels like a lot. And yes, it looks disgusting. I'm going to use a handheld mixer because this is all I have. Okay, wow, that was a journey. Kind of exploded everywhere. Maybe wear a face shield or get a bigger bowl. And we're gonna add some of the fake sugar. So I'm gonna just vibe it again. Maybe 5 of these guys. This could be too much. Vanilla and just add a bunch. Now, on a side note,
I feel like I have made a huge mistake and we're gonna find out in a minute.
but I have been adding a little bit of lime. Honestly, I cannot tell you how much lime that I actually add, but it isn't enough to make it taste limey, just enough to give it a fresh kick. So I'm just gonna... probably enough lime. I'm gonna scrape down the edges. I think that's what people do when they bake, is they do this. It just tastes like a regular cheesecake. Why does it taste so good? That is basically done. I don't know about you, but this is the best part. On my last video, I said I didn't like baking. I don't really like baking, but sometimes I do like baking, so how doesn't this look? All we really have left is to put this guy inside the base. Make sure your base is dry. Dry, not warm, and you just want to go ahead and... Guys, I'm a real chef now. This looks alright. No sugar cheesecake. Obviously, if you were to eat like 20 of these in one day, probably wouldn't recommend that because fat. This is a great dessert. I'm gonna stick it in the fridge for a few hours and then it'll be good to go. I cannot express how real and cheesecake-like this actually tastes.
The premise is that this cheesecake is sugar-free. Taste away.
Cheers.
Sugar-free, huh?
You can't really tell. You can feel that hint of coconut.
I'm not a big coconut guy.
So how do you feel?
I could feel the texture of the coconut in there, not as much of the taste. Cheesecake itself is good, yeah.
It tastes like cheesecake.
I would like a bit more moisture on the crust.
I disagree.
Really?
Yeah, because I like the juxtaposition of the two. This is so creamy, but I like that little like pop of something else.
I think it was just too much. I do like the cheesecake portion.
You're wrong.
Noted for the future. Amy.
Hope you like the recipe. Give it a go. Let me know how it turns out. We're just gonna wrap this video up here. Give me a like if you liked the video. Go follow me on Instagram at Amy_Leesha. You guys are great. I'm gonna go. Bye.
That's gonna be one slice.
You must eat the whole thing.
Please no.
All right, we're done.